North Bali Airport will be realized. Coordinating Minister AHY answers diplomatically, follows President Prabowo's words. What does that mean? And Candidasa Beach polluted by oil waste. Wow, this is a smelly story. Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat pagi and Happy New Year. This is January 1st, 2025. I think I got the year right finally. And my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today? Well, it is 9 o'clock in the morning and it is 29 degrees Celsius. The humidity is 75% and the wind speed is 6.4 kilometers per hour. And it is a cloudy day, but bright and no rain right now. Last night, New Year's Eve, we didn't have any rain here until about 2 o'clock in the morning. It started raining, but fireworks off all over the city. And I'll see if I can put a short clip up here of just a little bit of the fireworks that I saw from the roof last night. See if that works. If it does, good. If it doesn't, okay. Otherwise, it was just to stay at home with the family, have kids and grandkids here. Just a relaxed evening at home. And had the anniversary that I mentioned before, our 34th wedding anniversary the other day on the 30th. And, well, my wife's motorbike has seen better days. I think it's about 15 years old. And so I bought her a new motorbike, a cute little Fazio for the anniversary. And here is a picture, I think. I don't know. I have to see if it actually comes up. Okay, and well, good news and bad news. A lot of people celebrating. We are in 2025 and a lot of reasons to be pessimistic, but I'm trying to start the year looking for the best, being optimistic. And of course, my favorite story, going to start out with my favorite story. And if you follow this channel, you know it's the North Bali Airport. And so we're going to get started with that right now. North Bali Airport will be realized. Coordinating Minister AHY answers diplomatically, follows President Prabowo's words. You may remember that just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, lots of stuff. We're going to get started with this. Everybody's ready to go, and we're going to have a city over there, and the airport's going to go out into the ocean, and everything is going to be wonderful, and it is going to be amazing. What's going on right now that we are in the new year? North Bali Airport is still a topic of discussion until now, especially when the coordinating minister, AHY, came to Bali. It is undeniable that Nutritious Airport does have dense traffic, especially during the peak season and Christmas and New Year periods like now. Coordinating Minister for Infrastructure and Regional Development, Agus Harimurti Yudhoyono, also revealed that the 2024 Christmas and 2025 New Year Nataru holiday period will be the peak of passenger movements at the international airport. On Monday, the 30th, 79,000 people came. And the minister said earlier, I had the chance to see the atmosphere as well as an explanation from Mrs. Director Maya, President Director of InJourney, to gain a more complete understanding regarding the management and operations of the airport, especially when serving domestic tourists and communities, including foreign tourists during the Nataru period. Yesterday, he said, today is New Year's Eve, and the peak season was 79,000 tourists, 60% of them international and 40% domestic. With the high number of tourists coming in, the coordinating minister hopes that all flight air transportation infrastructure can truly serve the wider community, both domestic and international. By itself, the coordinating minister said, it will improve the economy, including tourism and the creative economy in Bali and its surroundings. He hopes that air transportation throughout Indonesia, not only Bali, will continue to develop and advance. The coordinating minister said that the pedestrian bridge is getting better and more comfortable. He received information that the capacity of this could be increased from 24 million people to 34 million people. That's the airport, going to increase up to 34 million. In fact, with careful planning going forward until 2040, up to 40 million people could be served at any time. Now remember that when they're talking about building this new airport and the necessity of building it right now, they said we're not going to be able to handle all the traffic coming up in the next few years. And so now it looks like they're increasing the number of passengers that can be accommodated at the existing airport. The central government continues to conduct studies and reviews of the North Bali Airport development plan. How many studies have been done on this? This was conveyed by the coordinating minister after a review at the airport the other day. And what about the studies? He said, we're going to continue to study it. I also recently received directions from the president to study it really well. He added that his party is faced with various factors, starting from supply and demand. We see what the capacity of Nurai Airport is like and projections for it for 5 years, 10 years, all the way up to 2045. We even make long-term plans that also accommodate the need for strengthening connectivity around the nation and internationally. And of course, one of the reasons as well for having the airport, not just to overload at the airport down at Nurai, but also because you want to spread out tourism around the island. And so he said, what if tourism is developed in the north? But I don't want to rush. I just want to say on this occasion, we are reviewing the study properly and it must be carried out. And this involves all stakeholders. He further said that the central government must listen to input from regional governments and ministries' information that will provide support. When asked about his comments on the statement by the Minister of State-Owned Enterprises that Bali needs a new airport by 2027, he said that it is necessary to start thinking about alternative airports. I think that is also part of the joint study. I will talk to the Minister of SOE and his staff because our enthusiasm is actually the same. Making domestic people, including tourists, more comfortable coming and doing economic and tourism activities in Bali, and from Bali to other places as an attractive hub. What's the take on this? Not quite as enthusiastic as the other day. More, let's look at studies and go over them really carefully. And so we went from, well, a lot of studies have been done and we're all set to go. You know, the company behind the airport said, you know, we've got everything planned, it's all set, and we're just waiting for the president to give us a go-ahead, which we talked to him and he said he was going to do. And now, looks like we're back at looking at studies again. Surprised? Not to be pessimistic, but this has been going on for at least 20 years. Okay, so that's it for the airport for today. But there may be some feedback on this comment here in the coming days. And of course, I'll be talking about that in future videos. And what about Candidasa Beach? Candidasa Beach polluted by oil waste. The arrival of oil waste to Candidasa Beach, the tourist attraction over in Karangasem, had a negative impact on the number of tourist visits. As a result of this oil, many tourists checked out early and some even canceled their plans to celebrate New Year's Eve in Candidasa. As a result, a number of tourism managers on the beach suffered losses. Since Saturday, the 28th, tourists have checked out, canceling their plans to celebrate New Year's Eve. We as tourism managers feel a loss due to the arrival of this oil waste. I don't know where it came from, said PHRI Karangasem Chairman Iwan Karyasa. Karyasa continued, the oil-like waste emitted an unpleasant odor that caused air pollution. The unpleasant odor caused complaints, so the tourists chose to leave Candidasa early. The blackish oil waste floated in the water. In addition to polluting the water, tourists also smelled an unpleasant odor so that they couldn't even go on the beach. The oil waste was visible from different parts of Candidasa. And so hotel occupancy for New Year's Eve, only 65%. Not that good for New Year's Eve. Elsewhere, honorary chairman of PHRI Karangasem, Iwayan Tama, also acknowledged the condition. He said the smell of the oil waste is very strong. Many foreign guests check out first. The smell is similar to diesel. besides floating the water, it also sticks to the sand. Wow. In fact, he hoped that approaching New Year's Eve that many tourists would come and celebrate in Candidasa. However, they got there and they left, or they heard about it and they canceled. According to him, environmental issues are very sensitive in the tourism sector. As soon as they see plastic waste on the beach, guests immediately complain. If there's presence of waste on the beach, guests complain. Moreover, this time there was a presence of oil waste that gave off this odor, so the tourists hit the road. PHRI, he said, has written to the environmental agency to trace the origin of oil waste. As a result of the oil waste, it can kill marine organisms, damage marine ecosystems, inhibit marine plants from photosynthesis until the marine ecosystem cycle is disrupted. In addition, it can damage the existence of coral reefs, clog water channels, pollute water, and so block sunlight from entering the water. The oil waste is quickly spread by water currents and wind, he said. And this does not sound good. Now, I know a few people anyway who live down in Candidasa, follow this channel, or do occasionally anyway. So if you have an update on this, boy, would love to hear about that. How is that going now? And where is this oil waste coming from? And I talked about before, one of the parts of the platform, an important part when President Prabowo was running for office, was that he was going to have free nutritious meals for students and pregnant women. Well, free nutritious meals start January 6, 2024. Why January 6th? Kids are back in school again, including my granddaughter, thank goodness. So the start of this on the 6th was confirmed by the head of the nutrition agency, Dadan. Dadan said the implementation of the program will be carried out evenly in various regions in Indonesia. However, when asked where the starting points of the program are running, he did not want to explain. I'll report to the president first, he said. Dadan once said that the implementation of the free nutritious meal program would reach around 3 million beneficiaries first. Gradually, the number of recipients will continue to be increased if the service units in the area are ready. Through this program, food will be distributed once a day to school children from preschool to senior high school. Preschool and K-2 children will get their food at 8 o'clock in the morning, while around 9:30 in the morning, children in grades 3 to 6 of elementary school, and then around 12 o'clock, food will be distributed to junior and senior high school students. The schedule for providing is made according to the teaching and learning schedules in schools in Indonesia. Meanwhile, the menu will vary by region. The menu will be determined by nutritionists in each service unit in the region. The menu is not determined by the nutrition agency, but the nutrition agency determines the nutritional composition nationally. The menu will be the responsibility of the nutritionist in each service area. We place one nutritionist in each service area. And there has been some controversy around this program, like where is the money coming from? And the money spent has actually decreased some. It was going to be originally $15,000 per meal per student, and then was dropped down to $10,000 per meal per student. But a great idea, especially in some of the more remote regions where there's a lot of poverty and stunting. And so these kind of programs are really important. And this is one that I hope goes over well. And I said, start of the year, want to be positive, right? But let's talk about crime, because crime involving foreign nationals increases. Criminal cases involving foreign nationals in the jurisdiction of the Bali police have increased. This was revealed by the Bali police chief in a year-end press conference held in East Denpasar on the 30th, on Monday. One of the prominent cases revealed by the chief was a car theft carried out by a Russian citizen in the Ubud area. Initially, this case was seen as just an ordinary crime, but after investigation, it was revealed that the perp had ties to an international drug network. Another case that has become the focus of the public is the case of Park Ubud, known as the Russian Village. The building, which was built on agricultural land without official permission, is suspected of involving foreign nationals, especially from Russia. The Russian Village is suspected of using illegal facilities and activities in the area. Another prominent case involving foreign nationals was the violence involving Polish nationals at the Isavia Beach Club. The Polish perps assaulted security officers and police officers on duty after being involved in a commotion inside the nightclub. Then there was the case of illegal prostitution and child exploitation at the Pink Palace Spa. Talked about that. In a raid conducted by the Bali Police Criminal Investigation Team, prostitution practices involving young women, some of whom were underage, were uncovered. The case allegedly involved an Australian citizen as one of the main actors in the network. In addition to criminal cases, traffic accidents involving foreign nationals have also increased. The Bali Police Traffic Directorate recorded a spike in traffic accidents involving foreign nationals by 37 incidents. That's all, or an increase of 35%. Seems pretty small. The chief said, "We will continue to take firm action against perpetrators of crimes involving foreign nationals to keep Bali a safe and comfortable tourist destination. We are also tightening supervision of entertainment venues and tourist destinations that are vulnerable to illegal activities." The chief also explained that during 2024, the Bali Regional Police and its ranks handled 5,444 cases. This number increased by 19% from 2023. The highest number of cases handled was by the Denpasar Police. Meanwhile, the fewest cases handled were by the North Bali Airport Police. In resolution of thousands of cases, 893 were solved through restorative justice. The hundreds of cases resolved through RJ are general crimes of 761, drug crimes, special crimes, and cyber crimes. One of the cases that attracted public attention is the narcotics case. The regional police chief explained that the narcotics cases in 2024 have increased. The number of drug suspects arrested, 1,303. The number of suspects also increased from the previous year. The regional police chief said his party continues to fight against drugs by increasing cooperation with related agencies such as the National Narcotics Agency, known as BNN, and Customs. He continued, "We also invite the public to participate in combating drug trafficking by reporting suspicious activities. Through active community participation, it's hoped that Bali can be free from the threat of drugs that damage the next generation." Okay, that is it for today. Right, it's the first. I still got kids here and grandkids. And wow, it seems like there's always somebody crying here. Family life, family life. What can you say? Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. And thanks to my son, he went out of his way to help a guy who got hurt. Took him to the hospital the other day. Wow, really proud of that. And take care. I will see you next time. Have a great new year.